Have you ever really thought about what it takes to plaster a wall? Well, today we're going to break it all down. We're going from the very first tool you pick up to that final, flawless finish. Let's get into it.
So, how in the world do you go from a bumpy, uneven brick wall to a surface that's perfectly smooth? That's the real magic, isn't it? And today, that's the journey we're taking you on, step by step, from raw materials to a truly finished wall.
First up, let's be clear. Plastering is way more than just making things look pretty. You should think of it like a tough, protective skin for your walls. It's this awesome shield against moisture that also happens to create the perfect, smooth canvas for whatever you want to put on it, whether that's paint or wallpaper.
You know, a perfect finish doesn't just start with the plaster itself. Nope. It actually starts way before that. It all begins with having the right gear and prepping your workspace like a pro. So let's build that foundation.
Okay, like any craft, you've got to have your essential toolkit. Every single piece you see here has a job to do. From the big plastering trowel that does all the heavy lifting to the spirit level that keeps you honest. Getting a feel for these tools is really the first step to mastering the whole thing.
Let's zero in on the two main trowels for a sec. The little one, the pointing trowel, that's your detail tool. It's perfect for getting into tight corners and filling joints. But the big guy, the plastering trowel or float, well, that's your absolute workhorse for getting the plaster on and spreading it out over big areas.
And let's talk about the spirit level. Look, this thing is completely non-negotiable. This is what guarantees your walls are perfectly plumb, straight up and down. I'm telling you, this one tool is what makes the difference between a sloppy-looking job and one that looks truly professional.
So tools are ready to go. Now it's all about prepping the workspace, and you do not want to rush this part. A clean, organized site is a must. That means having a special spot just for mixing, storing your materials the right way, and of course, being safe with your PPE and signs.
All right, now we get to the part that feels kind of like magic, mixing the mortar. You could totally make the case that this is the single most important part of the entire job. Because if you get this recipe right, you're setting yourself up for a finish that's strong, easy to work with, and built to last.
So, the whole key here is the mixing ratio. It's really just like a recipe for a cake, telling you exactly how many parts of cement, lime, and sand to use. If you nail this part, you're already halfway to a perfect finish.
And of course, different jobs need different recipes. For something that needs to be super strong, like a load-bearing area, a simple, tough mix of cement and sand is what you want. But for most general plastering, adding lime is a total game changer. It makes the mortar way creamier, much easier to spread, and it adds a little bit of flex, so it's less likely to crack later on.
Now, how you measure your ingredients is another big decision. For small, quick jobs, measuring by volume, with buckets or shovels, is usually fine. But if you're on a big project where every single batch of mortar has to be exactly the same, the pros use scales. They weigh everything out to get that perfect consistency every single time.
So, at the end of the day, your mortar has to tick all four of these boxes. Got to be workable, right? Easy to get on the trowel and spread. It needs to be adhesive, so it actually sticks to the wall. Of course, it has to be strong and durable. And this last one is so important. It needs good water retention, so it doesn't dry out too fast before the cement has time to properly cure. So our tools are ready. Our mortar is mixed just right. Now what? Well, this is where the science of prep meets the art of application. It's time to actually get the plaster on the wall. But remember, you can't just slap it on there. It's a careful, methodical process.
The whole application process can really be broken down into these four big stages. First, you get the wall ready, so the plaster will stick. Second, you set up some guides to make sure everything stays flat. Third, you build up the plaster in coats. And only then, at the very end, do you put on that final, smooth coat.
Usually, the way you build up those layers with what's called a three-coat system. You start with a scratch coat. It's a rough first layer that gives the next one something to grab onto. Then comes the floating coat, and that one's all about getting the surface nice and level. And finally, you top it off with a thin finish coat to get that beautiful glass-smooth surface. So what happens when things go wrong? The nightmares like cracking or blistering or peeling? Well, almost every single time, you can trace it right back to a mistake in the fundamentals. Maybe the mix was wrong, or maybe the wall wasn't prepped right. It almost always comes back to poor prep or an incorrect mix.
As we start to wrap this up, I want you to remember something. That perfect final finish, it isn't just the last step. It's the grand finale. It is the direct results of every single thing we've just walked through.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? A perfect plaster finish doesn't just happen by accident. It is the direct result of doing things right. That means you have to get the prep right, the mix right, and the application right. Excellence is earned every single step of the way.
And that's it, the whole plastering process, from A to Z. Now that you've seen the entire thing, I'm curious, what do you think is the single most critical step? Is it the careful prep work? Getting that mix absolutely perfect? Or is it all about the skill and the application? Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching.